Debian is one of the oldest Linux distributions, having been founded all the way back in 1993, and they recently released their 13th version in August of 2025. Now, Debian has always been focused on being developed openly, distributed freely, and using free and open source software. Now, this at times has made Debian difficult and confusing to install and use by the new and average user. I remember trying it for the first time after I had started already using Ubuntu and felt completely lost. Like half the devices in my computer just stopped working and I gave up pretty quickly after that. Now, as far as the user experience goes, Linux Mint has been the complete opposite. It's based on Ubuntu, which is actually based on Debian, and has always been much easier to use than vanilla Debian. Linux Mint has been making Linux easier to use for users since 2006, and in 2014, they actually released a version of Linux Mint based on Debian called Linux Mint Debian Edition, or LMDE. This distribution was intended as a backup in case they ever lost access to Ubuntu, but it had the unintended consequence of making Debian easier to use for the average user. LMD7 was released recently in October 14th of 2025, and that's what I want to tell you about on this episode of Linux Sundays. Now, I have a favor to ask. If you like this type of video and want to see more content like it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications. Also, don't forget to give this video a like if you like it. Let me know what you liked, didn't like, or if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or emotional outbursts down in the comment section below. And lastly, stick around all the way to the end to get the most out of this video. Let's do this. Alright, so for this video, we're actually going to be doing it old school Talk Tech style, as I did back in 2020 when I started the channel, without my face being in the picture, just me on the desktop, because I will actually be switching between multiple virtual machines, and this is just going to make it easier. So let's go ahead and transition to the desktop in 3, 2, 1. So I went ahead and ran the cat etc/ostac release command to go ahead and give us the details on the distro that we're running. We can see here that we're running LMD7, GG, which is the code name from Linux Mint, and you can actually see here, gives us all that information here. Linux Mint, LMDE, which stands for Linux Mint Debian Edition. This is the 7th edition. This is codename GG and ID Linux Mint. So we got all that information. We can also see the information here for Debian. It's got Debian, it's codename Trixie, and it's Debian 13. So LMDE7 mirrors updates made with Debian 13 with all the Linux Mint accoutrements. So just as with Debian 13, it uses Linux kernel 6.12, which we got right here with the uname-tac-r command. It also uses RAM to store temporary files as opposed to the disk. So any files that are written to the temp directory from an application should be noticeably faster. It's also using apt 3.0, which installs dependencies more intelligently and handles conflicts better. Now, it does have all the same refinements of Linux Mint 22.2. Now, here is the software center, which is one of the places where they actually made updates. So with the software manager, explains packages better and clarifies whether the user wants to install a Flatpak or a system package. Let's just go here into Ramina, which is a remote desktop client. And then here we go. It's got information here about the different package types. You can select over here on the right-hand side if you want to do system package versus Flatpak. And then in here, it gives you details in regards to the application, which, is a big step up. Now, it includes one of the other things that this version that's pretty big that it includes is going to be what I think they call it. I think it said, I'm not sure how they said Fingwit, which allows for fingerprint authentication across the OS. So this is going to be dependent on the fingerprint reader that you're using and if it's supported. See, I have a USB one, but it's not supported by Fingwit, so that's why you're not seeing it here on this virtual machine. I tried passing it through and it didn't work, but you would see here, and you can set up the different fingerprint profiles to be able to use them system-wise for authentication purposes, including sudo, anything you got to sign in, and anything like that. So LMDE7 is only available in a 64-bit architecture. It's not yet certain exactly how long they will support it, but based on, because it is based on Debian development, Current estimation for Debian 14 release is sometime in 2027. LMDE was released on September 27th, 2023, and will be supported until January 1st, 2026. So expect support for roughly around 2 years. So that is just an overview of Linux Mint Debian Edition 7. So I wanted to just kind of briefly go through the install process, which is right here. We've got a fresh install process started. It's pretty familiar if you've done this before. Let's do a let's go. Select your country. I'm in the United States and I speak English. Chicago is fine because that's Central Time. Keyboard is fine as well. We're going to just go ahead and set all this up. LMDE 7. We're just going to put install. All right, and we're going to give it a super secure password. All right, perfect. There we go. Went ahead and just did all that. It's a really straightforward process. I like Linux Mints. It's very straightforward, very streamlined, not difficult at all. Doesn't ask you 10,000 questions. And this will release all the data on the partition. Where do we want to install grub? And here it'll have you confirm everything. If you needed to update anything, you can go back. And then you just hit install and voila. It's going to go ahead and go through the install process, and then once it's done, it'll prompt you to reboot, and then you'll go ahead and reboot. It's a really, really straightforward installation process. So now I wanted to just briefly show you the installation process just so you kind of have an idea. Using the desktop is pretty similar to any other Linux Mint experience that you may have had in the past. It's got all the same things, as far as, application folders and organization and settings and all that kind of stuff. So, that experience has not changed significantly. Now, I know there are some applications that they have done some updates to, like the sticky application, which it actually now works on Wayland sessions. I don't think they've implemented Wayland yet. I know that they've done some testing with it. I think it's either 2026 or 2027 when they're looking to release Wayland. So, like Linux Mint, definitely prioritizes stability and usability over, having the latest everything. So, and this distribution is great. Linux Mint Debian Edition. Reason that I say that is because it works with hardware a lot of times that just won't work I don't want to say won't work, but are a pain in the butt on other distributions. So back in 2020, I bought like this really old workstation. It was from like 2010, so it was a 10-year-old workstation at the time. It was on the Intel X58 platform. It had an 5850 or some, two of them, and then like 48 gigs of RAM and something like that. Well, I just could not get any of the modern distributions to install on there. So I was like, I'm gonna give it one last shot, and I just threw this one on there because I wanted to play around with it, and everything worked flawlessly. So that's one of the biggest things behind utilizing this distro, is that it can work on hardware that's not, and it also allows you to do Debian on easy mode, which is pretty sweet. But I also I don't want to keep talking about the distro because I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of my experience with it and stuff like that, because I have been using it since like 2020. If I remember correctly. So it's very, very, very versatile. So, but before I close out the video, I do want to go ahead and show you the upgrading process, because the upgrading process is relatively straightforward. It's very familiar if you've ever upgraded a Linux Mint distribution. So you will need graphical physical access to it. You will, if you're doing it through a virtual machine, that's totally fine. But if you're accessing it through like remote desktop, you're not going to be able to upgrade. So you'll need to either be doing it directly on your machine, and you'll have to have graphical access to it. So the first thing that we want to do here is just confirm that we are indeed on LMD E6, which we are. All right, there we go. It's based on Debian Bookworm. Perfect. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is sudo apt update. Want to let it do its thing. Sudo apt upgrade. It's going to skip those two
All right, which is fine for my particular setup. All right, perfect. So now we need to go ahead and actually install a package here. So let's clear this out so we can go to the top again. Sudo apt mint upgrade. Oops, sudo apt install. Oops, forgot the install. There we go. We just added the TAC-Y on there to go ahead and skip the confirmation, and that's already done. And then easy peasy, clear it again. Sudo mint upgrade is the command that we're going to use. And now I do want to warn you is that when you do this process, you will follow the on-screen instructions, but it will take some time. So don't be alarmed. It does take time, and it will tell you if it needs anything additional, because it will run some checks here, because once we execute this command, it's going to pop up a window like you did at install, and it's going to go ahead and see, it says a series of tests will now be performed to prepare the computer for the upgrade. And we're just going to go ahead and click OK, and it's going to go ahead and just get everything updated here in the app cache. All right, there you go. It says if upgrade, it says system snapshots. If upgrade isn't successful, system snapshots will allow you to go back in time and revert all the changes. Press fix to perform a system snapshot. I'm kind of surprised I'm running into this because I'd actually already ran one, which is right here. So yeah, it shouldn't be an issue, but we'll go ahead and follow this anyway. All right, and it's doing here, system snapshot. Oh, okay, oops, it's already running, so let's come down here. Let's close this. Let's hit fix. It may be because it's... Actually, you know what, hold on, let's see here. What if I close this out? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so what you'll have on your, one of the things that it's gonna look to do is it's going to look to make sure that you have a system backup performed. So what you'll do is you'll just go into Timeshift. I'm just gonna, it's okay because we've already done it. And then what you'll do is you'll go ahead and just set it up. It'll ask you, you can just use the default, which is rsync. And then once, just hit finish. And then once it's finished, you can come in here. You can just go ahead and hit create, and then it'll create a snapshot of the system so that you can go ahead and proceed with the upgrade. You will need to make sure this is done prior to upgrading, and then just make sure that's shut while it's doing those tests. Now what it's going to do here is it says phase 2, simulation and download. Your package repositories will now point towards the new release. A few more tests will be run and package updates will be downloaded. All right, so they're just kind of basically doing a step process here that they're using for this process. All right, perfect. Here we go. It says upgrade simulation. Upgrade will perform the following changes. Download a size of 1.9 gigabytes. Additional space needed 1.9 gigabytes. Packages updated 1,646. Added 410. Kept. Deleted 143. So then what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and click OK. And then it's going to go ahead and start doing everything. And this is the part that really will take a long time, so you'll want to give it the time that it needs, and then we'll go ahead and reconvene once that is done. All right, and I did forget about this part, is it's going to go ahead and just go ahead and do phase 3, which is going to be the actual upgrade. And then once this part is done, then we will go ahead and reconvene once it is complete. All right, it is now complete. So let's go ahead and close out of the upgrade tool. Then we'll just close this down. And then we'll go ahead and reboot. And what you'll do through the magic of, modern technology is next thing you will see is the new updated OS. And there we go. We can see right down here in this bottom right-hand corner, it's on LMD E7. So pretty amazing. Honestly, I really love Linux Mint Debian Edition. It's one of those distros that makes Linux appealing for me because it's just so easy to work with. Don't let other people tell you that Linux is always difficult or always has to be difficult. If you haven't already, check out the previous episodes of Linux Sundays, or if you're caught up, check out this other video from my channel instead. Remember, mistakes make you better, so keep on making them. Thank you so much for watching my video and have the greatest of days.